The Dharma Discourses of Cardinal Master Chongsan. Part 1, The Canon of Secular Life. Chapter 2, Education. Education is the foundation for developing the world and the basis for civilizing humankind. Hence, it can be said that the rise and fall, prosperity or decline, of individuals, families, societies, and nations depends on whether or not education is well executed. Although human beings are said to be the most perspicacious of all living creatures, without the power of education we cannot be sure we will be able to fulfill our numinous potential. Even if families, societies, nations, or the world may have already been formed, without the power of education, their preservation or development also cannot be assured. Therefore, from the period of gestation, which is the foundation of human life, through birth, and the various stages of maturation, the ways of prenatal education, infant education, and general education must all be provided and cultivated in order for a person to become a useful human being in one's family, society, nation, and the world. Furthermore, education may be broadly divided into two categories: one is study of sciences and the other education in the study of the way. The study of sciences, as the foundation of material civilization, takes care of the material development of the world. Education in the study of the way, as the foundation of spiritual civilization, takes care of the spiritual development of the world. Therefore, these two types of education must be cultivated simultaneously, but the study of the way should be adopted as the basis and the study of sciences as its application. Then, both spiritual and material civilization will be well-rounded and the happiness of humankind will be consummated. Human education begins with prenatal education. In ancient times, it is said that Taran, the mother of King Wen, 1171 to 1122 BC, already began teaching her son while he was still in her womb. Since then, the term prenatal education has spread throughout the world. If prenatal education is carried out well while our numinous consciousness is still abiding in the fetus inside the womb, then congenitally superior numinous consciousnesses will have their temperaments enhanced, and even inferior ones will find their temperaments improved. If the pregnant mother takes poor care of her body and mind and does not carry out prenatal education well, then regardless of the superiority or inferiority of the fetus's numinous consciousness, its temperament may decline. Therefore, the founding master said, while the fetus is still inside the mother's womb, because its numinous consciousness is not yet mature, the parent's speech, thoughts, and actions can easily influence the fetus's future disposition. Hence, it is crucially important that a pregnant mother remain careful during gestation. The Dharma of prenatal education first entails a woman being careful with her body. She should not overexert herself by lifting objects that are too heavy. She should refrain from climbing up or descending down steep and dangerous places. She should avoid places where cold, heat, dryness, and humidity are excessive. She should not consume unripe fruit or spoiled food, and should be cautious about allowing herself to become overly hungry or overly full, overexerting herself, or overly indolent. Next, she should keep her mind pure. She should not allow her mind to become greedy, angry, or foolish. She should not show resentment, jealousy, or arrogance. She should let go of worries and defilements, and be careful to calm her mind when she is frightened or alarmed. She should attend Dharma meetings often and listen well to the teachings of the Buddha and wise masters, and never let go of a suitable measure of mind practice. Next, she must behave correctly. In her actions, she must not commit killing, stealing, or sexual misconduct. In her speech, she must not utter absurdities, make insinuations, speak evil, or engage in double talk. She should always handle all matters in a fair and upright manner, respect everyone in the congregation, make donations as much as she is able, and wherever she goes observe well the local laws and public morality. Human nature is originally pure and free from either good or bad. However, depending on sensory conditions, we can become either good or bad. When we are in good environments, naturally it is easy for us to be influenced by what is good, but when we are in bad environments, naturally it is easy to be contaminated by what is bad. Especially during early childhood, when we are innocent and naive and our consciousness has not yet fully developed, we are readily influenced by what we see and hear. Hence, it is said that in olden days Mencius's mother moved 3 times to find the right environment for her son's education and finally raised her son to become a sage. Thus, how can we neglect education during early childhood? Regarding the Dharma of education for children, the founding master has laid out a fourfold path. First is teaching via the mind, by placing a locus for faith in one's mind, and maintaining a state of mind that is upright, wholesome, and serene, one leads the children to model themselves on that mind. Second is teaching via conduct, by first conducting oneself correctly and maintaining right measure in one's actions, one leads the children automatically to model themselves on that conduct. Third is teaching via speech, by frequently talking to them about the exemplary words and wholesome actions of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, sages, and saints, and distinguished and accomplished persons, one leads children to remember and adopt those examples, and teaches them through gentle and rational words about human affairs and universal principles. Fourth is teaching via severity. This is a method of teaching through strict authority when children are immature. It is not a method to be used often. Even if prenatal education was proper and infant education unimpeachable, unless one also receives during one's youth the education in sciences appropriate to one's generation or the training in the study of the way that establishes fundamental integrity throughout one's life, then it is easy for one to pass one's entire life in vain. Thus, from youth through adulthood, one must receive simultaneously the education appropriate to one's time and the training in the way and its power. This is called general education. Education throughout one's lifetime involves, first, the education in academic disciplines, which primarily involves acquiring knowledge and skills through the study of sciences. Second is the education of the spirit, which primarily involves acquiring a disciplined mind and moral conduct through training in the way and its power. Third is the education in propriety, which involves cultivating and practicing all appropriate ceremonies and etiquette within the household, society, nation, and world. Fourth is the education regarding work, which involves cultivating a spirit of diligence in everyday life and field practice in productive labor.